Hey everyone, hello, and it's time for another look for our makeover contest. I'm going to show the Berry Noir today. I love this look. It's a little bit more bright and bold, but it's really fun, and I wanted you to see the colors and how easy it is to do. So let's get started. We're going to start with the Sunlit Rose. I'm going to show you that color is right here, a little bit on the pinky side, and then we're going to use the Merlot, which is kind of a deep Merlot color or purple, okay? And we're just going to start with this Sunlit Rose, and I'm going to place it on my lids. Now, I already have my foundation on and concealers. I already have my brows on. We're just going to put this one on the lid, so it makes it really simple to do, and I'm using the all-over brush with Mary Kay, all right? And so we're just going to put that. Sometimes I hold my eyes, you guys. I don't tug on it, but I might hold it. Just as I've gotten older, it kind of keeps it in place there. So we're going to just go like that. I'm putting mine a little bit above the crease just to give it a little bit more of an open eye, as you'll see. But you can keep it, if you've got a really open eye already, you could just keep it on your lid. It really is up to you how you play with these. If you go online and look at these looks, they actually do give you instructions. But for me, I just love to play and kind of do my thing. And you probably do too. But if you're not sure about that, you can definitely see what I'm doing. So I'm going to take the smudger brush next. And it calls for the Merlot. The Merlot would go on the outside. You could put it on your whole lid if you want for a really smoky look, but it would close up your eye. You have to remember that anything really dark is going to probably kind of close up and make something look a little bit smaller. Okay, we're just going to put, for me, I'm taking the Merlot and I'm just putting it in the outside corner. And, you know, you don't have to be real fussy about that. You know, some people say do a C or a V or I go up a little bit there. I just kind of tap it in the corner where I want it. And then what I'm going to do is come back with my little magic wand brush. You know, this is the one that's this kind of the circle fluffy one. This is the blending brush, and it really does do the trick. I mean, it will take that color and it will blend it in right where you want it. So you can kind of see the difference now, how it's starting to blend instead of looking like a glob on the corner. And we're just going to do the same thing with this one. And I always blend in. Don't blend out. You don't want anything falling out here. You want to go in with the color, okay? So always in, but not too close to your nose. You don't want to get dark in here. That's going to really close up your eye. But this is a fun way to get I think, a really polished look without being overdone. So there you go. You just blend that in a little bit. And that's really the two eye colors that this look calls for. So it's very simple. I'm going to use a steely liner today. It's a little bit more of a gray. I typically use brown, but today I thought I'd use steely. This look does not call for a liner, but I always love a little bit of a liner. And so I'm just going to go right along my lashes here on the top. You want to make sure and do little strokes. Stay where your lashes are, and then just go to a point in the end. You can see how that kind of defines my eye much more than this. So we're just going to do the same thing over here. You can just stay along your lashes. If you like to do a little bit of a cat eye, what the cat eye does is it gives you a little bit of an eye lift. So I typically will go a little bit up on the outside corner there, and then that gives that little bit of a lift that you're looking for. Okay, so that's the Steely. Very easy. And then it calls for the Lash Love mascara, which is kind of one of my newer favorite ones. I am not going to line under my eyes. I'm going to keep that looking a little bit softer. And what it does is I think it takes away some of the aging too. You know, when you start to really do too much, it can age you, and we don't want that either. So we're just going to give these lashes a little coat of the Lash Love, which I love. It lengthens. The brush is so easy to get that on. We've got several great mascaras, but this is a really fun one to use if you want something that's easy and gives you the length you're looking for and a little bit of volume as well. So we're just gonna make sure that that's in the corner there and lift it up. You can do a couple coats of that. It'll help. I'm gonna do a little bit underneath because I do have quite a bit of lash under. And I'm just going to do a little bit under there to give me some depth with that. There you go. You guys can see how that looks now. And then it does bring out the blue in my eyes, I guess, doesn't it? This look calls for the Wineberry Cheek, which is pretty bold. I don't typically wear the Wineberry, but if you guys want to take a peek at it here, it looks like this. This end one. So it's actually a great color if you're going into fall and winter. So you might want to think about that. And a great cheek brush, you got to have that. I'm just going to tap lightly because I don't want too much of this. But I will tap a little bit on my brush, and then I'll tap on my cheek where I want it, right about there. So I get a little bit on each side, and then I'm going to turn my brush over and blend. And you can see how beautiful that is with this look. I don't typically wear bold patterns. It's not my thing, but I found this shirt, a couple months ago, and I thought it is so fun. And I'm going to wear it today just for fun with this look. I thought it would really give me some pop, right? Okay, so there you go, the Wineberry cheek color, you guys. It's a great color, especially going into fall and winter. And now for the lips. It calls for a very bold lip. It's got a berry liner, which is going to be pretty deep. And you could switch this up. If you don't want to do the liner, you could just do the lipstick, or you could just do the liner alone with a gloss over it. So many different options. This look calls for this lip. You can see how bold it is. I'm using kind of a light hand because I'm going to show you what it looks like kind of filled in. Because you could do just that. And then, kind of blot your lips together like that. It'll get it evenly spread. And that is the berry liner, which is a really fun liner, you guys. And you could just put a gloss, leave it as is. This one calls for the Appleberry lipstick, which is actually a very popular lipstick. And I know it's going to be a little bold for some of you, but you know what? You could do the look with a different lip if you want. And there's the bold lipstick on there, the Appleberry. So it's kind of a fun look for today. There we go. We want to make sure and get you entered into that contest, so you want to do that. The last thing I typically do is I'm going to put on a little bit of my powder, silky setting powder. I love that with my big fluffy brush, because you know what? It really does set things in place, and it's going to make it last most of the day. And it'll take away any shine, if you've got any shine that you don't want. For me, I like a matte look. It does that, and then of course I have to add my earrings. It's always my earrings that kind of become my thing. The last 5 years, I guess now, I just really love having my earrings on to finish up my look. These are kind of some fun little shell earrings that give off different glows. I thought they'd be fun with this shirt. So you guys, there you have it. There's the Berry Noir look. Okay, let's give it a try.